Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, we have the update officially released for the PL18 Ultra. Looks like from the short change logs I can find, it fixes a few bugs and it also gives a higher power output version, the FCC version. It has now been approved. So, let's bring you in for a close-up look and show you how you go on about updating your radio. So, we're going to need a few things before we start this. One is the PL18 Ultra. The next thing, you're going to need a Windows or Mac based PC, laptop or some kind of tablet like this Lenovo Legion Go. To do the update, you're going to want to download and install the latest version of Flysky Assistant. I've already done videos showing how to do that. And then I would create, on mine on the desktop, I've created a Flysky Assistant folder. And then we've got a PL18 Ultra folder, and we're going to put all the software needed in here. Then you're going to have to go to Flysky's website. I will put all links to this in video description. It's flysky-cn.com. And we're going to go to products. It's the easiest way to find these. Scroll down and you should get the PL18 Ultra. If not, you can click Air and then your PL18 Ultra. So we'll drop down onto this. Then you come down, you want downloads and upgrades. We click on that. And as we scroll down, you can see we've now got the FCC version of firmware. I'm going to use the normal version because I don't need the FCC extra range. And then if we scroll down to the bottom here, we've got Assistant version 4 for Mac, Assistant version 4 for PC. So you can download them, install them, get them ready. Now for Windows, I'm going to use these. So if you want the higher power, you can go FCC. If you want the standard power, you can go with the 2.1.11 standard firmware. So pick whichever one you want and then click download. Then it's going to ask you where you want to keep these. So for me, I'll go desktop, Assistant V3, and then look for my PL18 Ultra, go into here and just click save. And if you take nothing else from this video, please pay attention to this bit. Do not use under any circumstances Flysky Assistant to do the firmware update. I have multiple people contact me every week with Assistant bricking their transmitters. Just do not use this software to do the update. Use the standalone updater. At the minute, it does mean you'd need a Windows PC to do it, but if you use Assistant to do the update, it pretty much looks like there's a 50-50 chance that it'll brick your transmitter. They are recoverable, but it's an absolute pain, so better off avoiding it. So, next, we're going to open up Assistant. This should be pretty painless. It's pretty quick to open now. Then I'm going to use the original Flysky cable. We've got the USB-C port on the PL18 Ultra. So I'm just going to connect that. You will get the options on the screen on the PL18 Ultra. It'll say charge or online. So click online. So once it's detected the transmitter, we can go to export. Load as model memories. This will be slower or quicker depending on how many you select, but if you've only got one, you can tick it. If you've got multiple, you can tick all, or you can just tick the ones you want. Then we're going to go export. I'm going to go back to my desktop, Assistant V3 folder. I'm going to scroll down to my PL18 Ultra folder. Then I'm going to click save. And the time it takes on this will depend entirely on how many model memories you're backing up. I have also given Flysky plenty of feedback on this. It just seems really slow at doing this, but it is successful. So if you just want to check and make sure that that has backed up, you can go back to your PL18 folder where we've downloaded the software, and then also you can see your memory is being backed up. Now you must make sure that your Assistant software is closed for this next part. once Assistant is completely closed, because you don't want Assistant and this software open, we're going to go to our transmitter. We're going to go into our general menu. We're going to scroll down. You've got TX firmware update. We're going to press that, and then we're going to press yes. Wait for Windows to do the noise that it's detected and the transmitter to be in update mode. Then you want to open the updater software. On here you'll see it says ready for update. We've got a software version of 2.1.11, hardware version 1, so it does detect it. It will in all likelihood still detect it if you don't put this in transmitter update mode, but it'll fail. It won't update it. If you put this, if you open the software first and then put this in transmitter update mode, it'll detect two. One you'll select and it'll fail, one you'll select and it'll update. That's why I say put this into update mode first, then open this software. That way you only get one, and it's the one that you actually want to see. So on this we just need to click update, and you can see the progress. We're already at 7%. If you do try Assistant, you'll realize it takes around 15 to 20 minutes to do this update, whereas this, we're already at 42%, I believe. It's just so much quicker. And for me, when you're updating firmware at this level, where if it disconnects you can brick the device, for something that either takes 2 to 3 minutes or 15 to 20 minutes, you're far better off using this software, because you've only got 2 to 3 minutes where you could potentially get a power down of your device, lose power, lose connectivity. There's just far less of time where there's a chance that something may go wrong. Also, I have never ever had the updater software, standalone software crash. I've had Assistant crash multiple times. And as you see, it quickly gets to 90-odd%, then it reboots. Now, when you get to this stage, we can just click online again. On mine, because I already had this firmware installed, it hasn't reset the model memory. If you're going from an earlier version of the firmware to this, it will reset your model memory. So what we need to do now is close the updater program. We need to reopen Flysky Assistant. So we should see it detects as transmitter. We can click into this. You can see a bit of information on the actual transmitter itself. So on here, we want to click import, load model memories. We're going to go back to our desktop, Assistant v3 folder. Then if we scroll down, we should get as PL18 Ultra folder. We go in here, double click on those models. It shows you what models are available. Quickly click import. Once we get on here, we can import the one we want or click all. You click add, and then once they're on here, if you've got multiple ones, you can press up and down to reorganize them, or you can just reset and it'll go back to what order they was in, and press OK, and this will put your model memory back to your transmitter. And it's pretty painless. It doesn't take very long to do. Up to now, this new version of Assistant, I've not had it crash, which was an issue on some of the earlier ones. But yeah, quite impressed with the way we've gone, sort of reliability wise. Although I have had a number of guys with different transmitters do the firmware update through here, so we don't need to back up. You can click update. You get the new versions available, so you can click which version you want and then continue. The problem is, rather than the updater software where it takes, you've seen, a couple of minutes, it can take 15 to 20 minutes at least to do the update. through Assistant. And for me, mainly what I'm seeing is people's laptop batteries go flat, or they lose connection, or somebody walks in the room and thinks that they've left the transmitter on and disconnects it. Because it's such a long time to do the update, it seems to be more that's bricking the transmitters than Assistant. But yeah, for how quick it is to just download the actual update that you want and run it, this is just a better option. If you really can't get your head around that, you can use Assistant, but I would strongly advise against it. But as we see, the only thing left to do now would be rebind each model back to its relevant receiver. But you have now got the option of the FCC version with higher transmission power for the PL18 Ultra. Do really like these little capacitive buttons. We've got to set them up yet, but just having quick options to get into readily used menus, I quite like that. If I could have one thing different, I would have these backlit, but it is what it is. The screen is way better on this transmitter, and as I've said before, it's better to the point where I have to have this now back down to 10% just to stop it blowing out the digital camera. And to give you some idea, the Legion Go, I also have to have this quite low down. This is on 18%, I believe. So you can see the difference between it. This is only 10%, and this is quite a bright screen on the Legion Go, and that's at 18 to sort of balance it. But yeah, really do like these screens. Love the feel of these gimbals as well. Once I've tampered around with them, and just to give you guys an update, so anybody that's watched my video where the tension for the up-down, I had to modify it. I have got confirmation from Flysky, so this is a pre-production model. The screws that was in the up-down tension on this were the wrong screws. The correct screws weren't available at the time. So yeah, any retail version, you should not come across the issue that I've had with this. But that's the update to 2.1.11. So all successfully done. No bizarreness, no weirdness with it. So the other thing that I would do is, once you've updated the firmware, and this isn't just on Flysky transmitters, this is on any kind of transmitter, basically you want to run stick calibration. So any kind of RC transmitter, if you're doing a firmware update of any kind, once you've done the firmware update, just to avoid any weirdness or unforeseen issues, for how long it takes, definitely worth doing a stick calibration, just to make sure everything's going to work as it should. But yeah, that's the 2.1.11 update for the PL18 Ultra. I think the main thing with this takeaway is you've now got the option of the higher powered FCC, and it does say they've done a few minor bug tweaks and fixes. But yeah, it's all successfully installed, pretty painless. If at all possible, don't use Assistant to do the update, just use it to back up and restore your model memories. If it's a brand new transmitter, you don't even have to back up the model memories, you can just run through and do the update. But it does seem all working, I'm not seeing any weirdness with it, and yeah, I think it's time to wrap this one up. So there we have it, a nice painless update process for the PL18 Ultra. Nice to see Flysky's kicking along with firmware updates for this already, and yeah, seems pretty solid firmware wise so far. Nobody's reported to me any weirdness or strange behaviour. I've not come across anything sort of incompatible or broken, but yeah, give it a try you guys, see how you get on with it. And big takeaway, if at all possible, don't use Assistant to do the update, or if you are, make sure that your laptop or anything's fully mains powered, You don't want your battery powering off, and just be aware it can take 15 to 20 minutes compared to 2 minutes for the actual updater. And then remember, run calibration and bind back to the actual individual models. It only takes seconds to do that. But yeah, thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Hopefully you find this useful, entertaining, a bit of both. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.